UK and some other countries like that. So our job opportunity board is there on Slack. That's the channel 5 where you can meet with hiring manager. We have Black Skill. They are one of our job acquisition platform that help people get job and give them opportunity even to jobs abroad. So and we also have testing merchandise where we help people to test the application, and that's some of the things that we do here at Tester Squad. So thank you very much for listening, and I believe we have some of our new members on the call. If you're a new member, kindly drop your favorite emoji so that we can drop a shout out for you. If this is your first time joining our weekly webinar, can you please drop your favorite emoji? Is there anybody there so that we can just give you a shout out? Oh, Lawrence, we are very glad to have you. We are very glad to have you. Is the only Jennifer that is excited to see Lawrence join Testers Quarter community? If you are excited, kindly drop your favorite emoji. Thank you, Luatosin, for that. Adaobi, kindly confirm if she has joined the call. Oh, Jennifer, we are so excited to have you. We are so excited to have you. Thank you so much. Adaobi.
Yes, she's on the call.
Okay, thank you very much. So I'm moving forward and I'm going to be introducing our speaker. She's already on the call. She's a software testing engineer. She's a software quality assurance engineer, and she currently works at Elab Transact. She is a highly skilled Agile software quality assurance engineer. She has a strong track record of ensuring optimal software performance and reliability. Ikeoluwa spans our expertise in documenting test cases, conducting comprehensive application testing, and tracking bugs to uphold software quality. With a sharp eye for detail, she excels in reviewing technical documentation for accuracy, completeness, and compliance, proactively identifying and mitigating potential risks. Beyond her technical skills, Keolua is deeply passionate about problem solving and enhancing user experience. Her commitment to continuous improvement and high quality software delivery has made a significant impact on the projects she has worked on. Everybody kindly help me to give it up for Ikeoluwa Alawode as she takes us on this very important topic on software testing. Ikeoluwa, you have the floor. You're welcome. We're happy to have you.
Uh, thank you, Faith. Thank you, everyone. And it's nice meeting everyone. I think it's my first time like coming here to speak. I appreciate this opportunity. So I'll be sharing my screen. Just give me a few minutes. Uh, okay. Please confirm you can hear me. Uh,
We can hear you. We can see your screen.
all right. Thank you so much. So today I'll be speaking on deep deep dive into software testing for quality delivery. And before I go into what I'm going to present, I would like to do a brief introduction on what is software testing, how to ensure quality in products or quality in software, and what's the purpose? Why do we need to test a software? So, software testing is the process of evaluating a software application as a product to identify bugs and to ensure that the product meets the specified requirements of the software. And purpose, when we speak on purpose, um, why do we need to test this product, and what are we aiming to achieve? We need to ensure the quality, and we need to ensure that the software is reliable, and we need to ensure that it's actually secure before we release it to our end users. When we speak on reliable, we need to understand how the product should work. If we need to understand that, oh, the product should work as expected, and there are no bugs before it gets to our end users as our customers. And when we speak of high quality, we need to ensure that it meets requirements and it meets like a good user experience. So we need to ensure quality when delivering a product, and we need to ensure that um, the system is well functional, it's working as expected. Yeah. So yeah, that's um uh what software testing is all about. So let's go into types of software testing. When we speak of software testing, there are different types. We have the unit testing, we have the integration testing, and we have the system testing. Unit testing deals with where you're testing individual components, or we call it modules of the software. And integration testing is you need to understand how the interaction between different components works in the system. System testing has to do with testing the complete software system as a whole. You're checking the UI, you're checking different aspects of the software. Again, before we dive into quality, we need to understand the fundamentals of software testing. And these fundamentals are the core principles that guide the process of ensuring the quality in a product. We need to have like a clear testing process. Yeah, we need to like follow some testing process. We need to like have a plan. We need to understand. You need to have a plan when you are testing a product. You need to create your test cases. Different scenarios. You need to do like a positive and negative testing. Understand how it should work, and do the next flow of what about things like if it doesn't work this way. So that you're going to like get um bugs, or let's say we're going to understand how the quality works. So when I speak of test cases, development and testing process, I've mentioned creating detailed test cases that covers all relevant scenarios. When you when you But first you need to understand um the business requirement document of what your software is talking about. You need to understand how the system should work. You need to understand the speed rate. You need to understand how it functions. Um, so yes, after understanding the document, it's very important that you define and you create detailed test cases. This helps to cover all relevant scenarios: the login, logout, forgot password. You as a tester, you need to understand what the product is about. So that will help you to create your test cases. After creating your test cases, you go into test execution. Test execution means you run the test cases and you document the results. After you create your test case, test cases that covers all relevant scenarios, you execute, you run your test. So before when you go back to the document, this should there are some scenarios whereby I'm basically going to be like log in, log out, sign up, sign in. So all those things are very they're major functionalities in a software. So you need to like get familiarized on how your system, how your product should work. So if if you are done creating your test cases, how should login work? You go to your application, probably your application accepts capital letter and different special characters for password. and probably you just when I mean positive and negative testing, you're testing how it should be, and you're testing the negative side. So when you go to an application and you put in a password, but it is not passing what is required. That's what we call the negative testing. And by then you run your test cases and document your results. Or if implementing the password without special characters, does the system still allows it or it doesn't allow it? So is it that would understand what your product is all about? And thirdly, um, you need to understand that there are various test aspects of testing when it comes to quality of the product. They are functional and they are the non-functional testing. When we talk about functional, you need to verify that your software performs as expected based on the requirements or the document. That's functional testing. Non-functional testing, you need to evaluate aspects like the performance. How does it perform under 1,000 users? The payload, like network, how does it catch accepting different users? And those are the other aspects of testing. So by understanding these fundamentals, you can effectively contribute to the development of delivering a high quality product to your users and customers. Yeah, we have testing principles. These are the guidelines that will help ensure that your software is thoroughly tested and it meets the quality standard. One, you need to understand, you need to establish quality standards. You need to define clear quality criteria and objectives for your software. You need to you need to evaluate the software and ensure that everyone has understanding of what should be expected as a tester, like how the quality of the product should be. And you need to have a structured comprehensive coverage. You can use Excel sheets to document your test cases. You can use Jira. Yeah, most professionals use Jira, whereby you can use to like track your bugs and assign to the developer that is meant to work on it. So by having a structured testing process is going to like help in delivering it's going to help in delivering the quality product. So um when you ensure that your testing is thorough and it is efficient, it helps avoid dips in coverage and ensures that all critical aspects of the software are tested. So that's why I mentioned using a test management tool to track test cases and to track your progress. Your test case design as well, your testing, when you document your test cases and test scenarios, it will help as well. You can also attach images, screenshots when you're doing your testing for a product. Um, yeah, so these are what testing principles talks about to ensure um quality standards and to ensure that your test cases uh covers the whole what your product is about. Your test scenarios, it covers everything. And it helps to ensure traceability, whereby you can link test cases to requirements and to maintain. So you need to like link them together, share screenshots, put links to what you are documenting. This will help to deliver a quality product. Testing life cycle. When we talk about testing life cycle, this is also another stage of software testing. This phase covers when you create your test cases, and whereby when you report what you have achieved, what you have tested so far. The first phase for every tester is always to like understand the product, do your manual checks before you go into using automation tools to run the test script. Yes, so firstly you need to thoroughly understand the requirements of the software that needs to be tested. It involves analyzing your user story, functional specifications, your design document, ensure that what the designer has tallies with what has been implemented. So these are relevant documents that you need to like look out for when you want to when you want to when you are when you want to test your product. So you need to understand the BRD, business required document. You need to understand the design. You need to understand what we are testing. It covers user stories, functional specifications, and all. So this will give a clear understanding of what the software requirement or the roadmap for testing. Secondly, you need to have a comprehensive test strategy and a schedule. Mentioned that earlier, whereby you create your test cases, you develop detailed test cases that covers all the requirements, all the test scenarios that need to be covered in the product. So that's very important. You need to define your test environment. As a tester, there's always the test environment um we check before it gets to the production. That's where users use. So you need to ensure that what you're testing is what it meets the customer's needs and is what is expected of the software. So yeah, having a comprehensive test plan and implement the test cases and record results as well. It's for you to do a screen record of what you're testing. It's for you to use tools like Selenium. Selenium runs playback to whereby you can record and share with the developer. You can also use tools like Opinion for mobile testing. There are also mobile extensions that we can use for testing. So you can attach to your Chrome browser and you can use for different mobile views. So this implementation will help and it will ensure that what you're testing is a well quality product. Yeah, so we are done with that phase. Um, we need to move into automation in software testing. When we speak of automation comes in after you are done with your manual process, whereby you've achieved and the product is well stable to some extent, and automation saves time. It's not like the way we spend much time on manual testing, because manual testing you might not really catch up some code error. But if you run automation, you can use Cypress, you can use Selenium to, but you need to familiarize yourself with these tools and look out for what is best for you, what you can use. There are different clever tools in QA industry today. So just if you are new to software testing, you can check videos online, learn how to test. But the main important thing is for you to look into the manual phase and understand um understand what your product is about, understand what you need to test, and have a comprehensive test cases whereby you can use to like analyze your test results and share with the developers. So yeah, benefits of test automation. It helps to it it runs faster and is more efficient than manual test. So you need to learn how to run test scripts. You can learn different code languages. You don't have to really like you don't have to be 100% learning the code language, but know the basics. Know what you are doing when you need to test. Know what you are causing in your test cases. You need to understand um how to go about using the automation tool. Yes, it's very, very important that you get as a tester you familiarize yourself with either Selenium, either Cypress, anyone that works for you. But for me, I use Cypress and as it's really effective once your product is much stable to some extent. You just run the way you have your test script. You just run out the steps. Just put in your test script and it runs and you're going to see a clearer result. You're going to see that there are some results you might not see in the manual testing, but you can see some where some codes are failing, and you know it's more efficient than manual doing manual testing. But before we go into automation, always ensure that your product is much stable to some extent. So as a tester, it's very important that you get familiarized with using automation tools. Yeah. Secondly, it improves accuracy. Um, it gives accurate results, whereby when you run your test script, you would see on any tool you are using. You're going to see how where the error is coming from. You're going to see how what's the word? You're going to see that it's going to show you um the errors that are flagging from your system that you as a tester you don't even use your manual testing. So yeah, it's more efficient with accuracy and it also um it also reduces cost. Uh yeah, in the long run, reduce cost and for you going through the manual phase, once you are very good with running your automation, you just rerun the scripts over and over again. And if there are changes in your code from a developer or something has been broken, what you just do is just go back to your you need to familiarize yourself with Visual Studio Code, VS Code, whereby you can run your automation as well. It works with Cypress, it works with Selenium. Yeah, so that's benefits of automation. So we go to the next one. Yeah, I mentioned the tools that you can use. You can use Selenium. You can use Selenium. It works for web automation. Cypress also works for web automation. Opinion also works for mobile platforms. You can as well install extensions. Yeah, there are mobile extensions that they are good for different mobile views that you can use to run your test. Um, Implementing automation. When do you implement? You need to know as testers when to implement. Can everyone hear me? Someone speaking. Okay. So you need to know when to implement test automation. Um, if you find yourself manually running the same test over and over again, like I said, automation is a clear win. It helps to save time and it reduces the chances of errors that you might not see from the manual testing. Also, regression testing. Regression comes in when um probably from whether there's a bug and the developer like fixes the bug. That's when you need to run regression testing. You need to ensure that what has been fixed doesn't affect doesn't affect some functional ability that's been on the system. So you need to ensure that you run regression testing as a tester. It helps to it helps to ensure quality of the product as well. Um, yeah, um, yeah, it should be into the continuous development. It allows for frequent and automated testing of code changes. Probably there's a change in your code. So yeah, that's when this comes in. It's this when you integrate automated testing. So this also helps to ensure faster delivery of high quality of the software. Um, Agile and DevOps and testing. So when we speak of Agile and DevOps and testing, we are we are looking at early defect detection, ensuring that we are fixing the early development stage of testing, and also you need to test frequently um, throughout the development phase. You don't have to wait till product gets to the testing phase before you need to test the product. So that's when, instead of waiting till the end of development cycle, that's the FDL stage, development cycle, you need to ensure that your testing is integrated early, and you communicate with developers, communicate with engineers, work together to ensure that what is being implemented is is um is what we have, and if there's a need to fix any issue, it's still in the development cycle before it gets to the testing phase, and that's going to be like uh, another it's going to be very strenuous if we don't you know test in the development phase. So yeah, this this is another testing approach. You need to identify and fix issues during the development phase, like I said, and you need to integrate automation, and also you need to collaborate with developers, ensure that what you have reported is being fixed, and ensure that you run regression testing. If after a fix has been done, you need to like take the whole system again to ensure that what has been integrated does not affect any other thing. So yeah, communication really helps, and is very important as a tester that you collaborate with developers, and you are engaged in the development process of the product before it gets to the testing phase. And yeah, this would help in delivering a quality product if you understand the BRD very well, the business requirement document. If you get familiarized with using different testing tools, just keep learning as a learner. You cannot be perfect like this. So you keep learning, and also you need to understand how to test APIs as well. API is using Postman. So tools like this will help, and it will help in delivering a quality product. So it's not just about finding bugs, but it's about ensuring the quality, and ensuring that users are satisfied with the product. That's the success of any software. If your customers or your end users are well satisfied with the product, that's the success of product that has been tested. Yeah. So in conclusion, we need to embrace continuous testing, and we need to build the culture of quality as testers. Ensure ensure that you are testing thoroughly. Ask questions when you need to ask. If you don't understand the journey, always go back to your product managers. Always ensure that um, you're getting clarity. There's no question that is a dumb question as a tester. You ask the question, and if you're not still being clear, ask again. It helps. You might not know that you are also learning at that phase. Again, we need to get familiarized with testing tools. Testing tools, especially when it comes to automation. Um, the world we have today is not just about manual testing, although manual testing is very essential. But again, automation is more faster, and once you're able to like have your test cases and you know how to execute them, you also like know how to run them using PS Code or with any tool with anyone that works for you. This is going to like help us to ensure that the product meets um high standard and it exceeds our expectations. So quality is not just about finding bugs, it's also about building confidence and trust with our software products. Thank you for your time. If you have any questions, please available to answer your questions. And I will encourage everybody that is just new to software testing to keep, keep learning. Like I said, keep learning. You might not know, but with the little things you are learning, it matters and it will make you to understand better what you need to do as a tester. You will have a green light on your own on how to like deliver a quality product to your customers. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Ikeoluwa. Thank you so much, guys. Let us give it up for Ike. Let us drop our favorite emoji and say thank you to her. You can also use the chat box to say thank you for taking this amazing time, your precious time, to take us on this subject, deep dive into subject testing. So I see that we have some questions in the chat box, and Nokot Boyo is asking, he said he's a little confused about the roles of QA testers and UAT testers. His friend works as a UAT tester and often catches very obvious bugs during testing. However, the company has a separate QA department that approves the software before it's sent to the UAT team. If QA already reviewed it, why are obvious bugs still slipping through? What exactly does the QA team do differently from UAT testers? Aren't they both supposed to test the software? Keldua.
As I'm sure reading the message, nothing will click so difference between UAT and a QA tester. There's no they both play important roles in ensuring like software quality for uh their focus and responsibility might differ. For as a QA person, you are like a quality assurance tester of a product and you focus on finding bugs and defecting the software before it is released to end users. Why for UAT testers, they focus on ensuring that the software meets the need. That's two different things. So when we that there are two different things actually. So UAT testers focus on ensuring that the software meets the needs of the end users and is ready for release. While for a QA person, you're focusing on testing, finding bugs, and ensuring that the software is released to end users. So your question says if we already reviewed it, where obvious bugs is written through, what exactly does the QA team do differently from the I mean the sophisticated stuff. So like I said, they are both two different they have two different tools to play, although they are meant to be actually like work together before a product is being released. I see it that way. So as a QA person, you are testing and as a UAT tester, user acceptance tester, you are ensuring that it meets the need. So a QA person would test differently from how UEP person would test. But however, if a QA already reviewed it, there shouldn't be bugs slipping through, except if the QA person is not testing it thoroughly. There are some things that are missing when testing. So they are not much different, but they play different tools. The QA person and the EQA person, these are second tester person. I'm able to answer your question, Jennifer.
Ikeoluwa,
Yes, I'm with you.
can you hear me? Okay. So I'm not sure. Knockout, did you get that? Was that okay for you, the answer? Knockout, are you still on the call? All right, while we wait for Knockout's response, another person is asking, he said, please, can you speak more on test case documentation, best practice in order to avoid or has wide test coverage and deliver high products? How should it be constructed using a dashboard as a case study?
Okay, so test cases are specific steps designed to verify particular functionality or feature of the software. Uh, when you are doing a test case, you are ensuring that you are specifying the steps that needs to be taken. Like you need to specify how how the feature works, and you need to put in the expected and an actual result of the particular test that you run. So that's test cases. Like now, for example, let's use a login feature, for example. When you enter a valid username and password, click on login button and verify that the user is logged in successfully. So that's test cases. But when you talk about test coverage is like to ensure that the number of test cases that have been created covers important aspects of your software. I might say, Tugu. Hello. Okay, thank you. Any other question?
Yes, please, let's drop our question in the chat box if you have questions. All right, so while we are waiting for more questions, I just want to ask Ikeoluwa, if because I've had issues where someone was complaining that he's testing a particular application, and because there is time constraints, they were unable to hand over a proper documentation for the application they were testing. So most of the information they had was just mouth to mouth. So how would that kind of tester be able to test properly, ensuring that number one, is it advisable for a tester to test a kind of application that like that? And number two, how would you advise somebody in that kind of situation?
So if I hear you correctly, the document, like the business required document, wasn't like ready, and it has to do with the mouth-to-mouth conversation um for you to understand how the product should work. So one thing that is very important at the tester is in scenarios like this, you need to speak up, you need to still communicate and ensure that any meeting or anything that has to do with the software that is being in progress, you're always in the meetings to understand the requirements. Most times you might not even get a business required document, and most times even though the required document would actually like have to change, there might be changes. So in scenarios like that, please speak to your, if it's your product manager or product the person that is the main product owner. Always spend time and speak with the person. Try to have a clear understanding to ensure that what you are testing is what is part of what is being required. Like it's not you're not testing what is not going to be covered. So yeah, in scenarios like this, you need to speak up. You need to communicate to your your team members, probably your stakeholders. You need to communicate with the product management, your designers. Always ask them questions, like I said, because most times even when they are changing some requirements, you might not be there. So if it has to be that, oh, you need to test something without a document, you always it is your responsibility to like reach out and to ask questions. Yeah, that's what I would advise. Actually, it was able to answer your question.
All right. Thank you very much, Shika. All right. Do we still have any? Oh my God. This network is serious. Do we still have any other question? All right. So, in the absence of none, would like to thank Ikeoluwa. Thank you so much for facilitating this webinar. We really appreciate your presence. And I would also like to thank everybody that has been on the call. Thank you so much for joining this call today. We March is already, this is March 14th, and we are rounding up the year gradually. And I said the year, we're rounding up the month gradually. So we still have some things for us for this month, and I just want to bring us up to speed on that. So after now, we are going to be having, like, after this particular session next week Friday, it's going to be for just a minute, please. Just a moment, please. Oh, I did not include it. Okay. So just let me say it with my mouth here. So next week Friday, we are going to be having like a hands-on session, and it's going to be about API testing. I'm going to be sharing the details with us on the community. So and it will be handled by Oji. Oji is our person here on the community, and it's been of great help to people that have always been joining our testers office hour. They will know Oji. He's been a very resourceful person, and would have some hands-on session on that day. So we'll be having Oji on Friday. I believe we are supposed to be excited about that. Are we not excited? Yeah, we should be excited. Sound the alarm. Yes. So, and we are going to be rounding up the month with our town hall meeting. And please, I would like to appeal that everybody should write one or two things that you think we should do as a community to improve. Because if you are saying we are a community, then that means we are doing things together. That means somebody is carrying something to make sure that the community is moving and is getting better. So if it's just like somebody's coming up every day to just say something, and then everybody's just receiving at the receiving end, and there's no community there. Community is a place where everybody comes together to achieve a particular goal, not just by coming together, but by doing something to ensure that the community is moving forward. So our town hall meeting, that's the last Friday of this month, we are going to be having a conversation around how we can make this community better, the things that we can do together to achieve progress as a community. So that will be all for tonight. Good night and enjoy. Can you see me? Good night and enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you very much and have a good night. So kindly drop, I'm going to be dropping, I'm dropping on the events and training channel right now. I'm dropping something. Please, I just want you to engage on that. Drop a testimony about this training that we had with Ikeoluwa, and share with us what is your most favorite, what you enjoyed most in the session, and what is your takeaway from this session.